Nah, dude, L's all around. L behavior. That is a big bad L. Is that what the kids say nowadays? L fan base, bro. L fan base. We're talking today about the New York Islanders once again. Because as we had talked about in yesterday's video, the Islanders lost to the Rangers in overtime in their Stadium Series matchup after being up 4-1. They had a huge lead. They lost 6-5 in OT off of a brutal turnover by Noah Dobson and a goal that was kind of controversial, kind of not. I mean, it was seen by everybody as a goal after it was showed on the replay, but either way, the L comes with not just the Islanders team itself, but from the Islanders fan base. Because as we had insinuated in yesterday's video, there was a good chunk of Islanders fans in the post-game thread of the Islanders subreddit that were absolutely lambasting Scott Mayfield. And I didn't show any of it on the screen because I told y'all in the video I have a filter on my Google Chrome that filters out the swear words, so if I tried to show you the post-game comments, it would have all just been censored out because everybody is just tossing Scott Mayfield under the bus. They're all cursing him out. This guy has not done anything this season to get a good reputation with the fans. And I'm going to be honest, I personally see a lot of value in his game. Not because I'm an Islanders fan and I'm cheering for the success of the team, but because the guy shots a lot of blocks. Shots a lot of blocks? He blocks a lot of shots. That's what I'm trying to say. He has been a pretty good pickup for my fantasy team in and out throughout the season. He's always there when one of my guys is injured, and I pick him up, he blocks 3 shots a game, and I'm good, because that's as good as 3 assists in a game. Yeah, blame John from Hot Take Hockey for making my fantasy league this year like that. But Scott Mayfield has no real fanfare because of his profile. 31 years old, right-handed defenseman, 6'5", big dude, 220 pounds, but he's signed till the end of 2030, making $3.5 million a year. He's got a no-trade clause as well that becomes a modified no-trade clause in 2027. But the fact is, this guy is on the books till he's gonna be 37 years old. And sure, 3.5 mil is not the most expensive deal in the world, but it's still significant money for a guy who's going out there playing 15 to 18 minutes a night, blocking some shots, and not really producing as much as he has in the past. Mayfield last year had 24 points in 82 games played, which you could very well say is part of the reason why he got this deal. This year, he's got 4 points in 38 games. That's a really bad point production base for a guy who had more goals as a defenseman than he has points 1 year later, after signing that big extension too. Now, the reason we're making this video is because in the game yesterday, we had seen Scott Mayfield make a few mistakes. He took some penalties, and one of the penalties that he took ended up in the game-tying goal, which is why the Rangers had themselves the overtime to begin with. Mika Zibanejad tied things up 1 minute something to go. But the response from Islanders fans was a total L. Because just 10 minutes after this game concluded, Scott Mayfield deleted his Instagram account. And you may be thinking, wait a minute, okay, what does that have to do with what's going on here? Like, what? The guy plays a hockey game and then he comes back out and then he deletes his Instagram? Why is that a big deal, Lego? What's going on? Well, it's because, you know who we were talking about in the post-game thread on Reddit? Islanders fans were lambasting the hell out of Scott Mayfield. Well, it doesn't take a genius to go out there and conclude that they did the same thing on the guy's gosh darn personal Instagram feed. And this is always, no matter the circumstance, always something that I will stand by. It is L behavior, loser behavior, to go to somebody's Instagram page that's like a pro athlete or whatever and start ranting and raving in their comment sections. Oh, you suck, you did this, you did that, you're overpaid, you're a bum, you shouldn't have taken those penalties, we lost because of you, you blew the game, you're bad, you're bad. That's total loser behavior. I get it, you know. You can be a diehard fan. I'm a diehard fan too of my Vancouver Canucks. I love this team, and I have for the majority of my life. And I hate doing this, where it's like, oh, I do this, therefore everybody else should do it too. But I don't understand what compels somebody to cheer for a team, have a disappointing result in a game, and then feel the need to express to that one player on a public forum in mass quantities saying, hey, you suck, buddy. We should buy you out. You don't deserve to be here. We don't want you on the team anymore. Scott Mayfield needing to delete his Instagram just 10 minutes after probably indicates the level of response that he was able to get within the first few minutes of that goal going in, the Mika Zibanejad game-tying goal at the end of the regulation. Now, I get it too. At the same time, I can understand why Islanders fans are frustrated. I'm not saying you can't be frustrated. I can't say that Scott Mayfield is a good player. Like, sure, he blocks shots and he is valuable for my fantasy team, but that's not like, being a good player in general. That's just fantasy, Hot Take Hockey went out there and made that for all of us, and we have to abide by those rules. Let's go out there and read our hockey subreddit, because there is a common thread on a post made by SockDem, which talks about this Scott Mayfield deleting his Instagram account less than 10 minutes after the end of the Islanders-Rangers game. Here's a comment, context for us who didn't watch. Deddy Side goes out there and replies saying that he took a few bad penalties during the game. The last one he took was leading to the game-tying goal, then they lost in overtime. The reply here says, oh, so it's just your standard bad game. It's sad that that's all it takes these days for fans to go out there and lambast you on your own personal socials. It just makes me think of a player who have cost their teams big in the past, pre-social media. Patrick Lalime, for example, would have been crucified for those losses to the Leafs. And here is the reply that kind of sums it all up from Sherman Jeopard. The context here is that Scott Mayfield has done this repeatedly since the season started and cost us many games and points by taking critical penalties late in the third period. It certainly doesn't justify sending him any horrible things that I'm sure he was sent, since only low-class... Oh, that's not on my filtered list. What the hell? I'm going to have to add that there. Would ever do that. But I can see why this would be a moment where it bubbled over and the people decided to act on those urges. And at the same time, I don't want to generalize when it comes to the New York Islanders fan base, but we understand that y'alls are a little bit of a sensitive bunch, and maybe that's the wrong word to use, but I will say that there are moments throughout the New York Islanders' tenure as a franchise where players do something bad to the team, and the fans really let those players know. The instance I'm thinking of is that, video of John Tavares in the penalty box in New York after he had signed with the Toronto Maple Leafs, and the angry Islanders fan was yelling at him, F you, John, you're a traitor, a liar, a snake, a fake. You should have told us. We could have gotten picks for you. Like, as if John Tavares is not a human being too, with his own rationale and decisions and personality and nuance within his ethos. It's almost like he's just a thing, an entity that exists for the purpose of entertainment and being a sporting figure. For Scott Mayfield, he's not John Tavares, but you could understand why a fan base like the Islanders would be super pissed off at the way he has played this season. But my goodness, behavior from those involved, sending the guy death threats and commenting nasty, nasty things on all of his social media. So this is just another reminder to anybody, not just Islanders fans, but for fans of sports or people or celebrities or whatever, don't be nasty. Like, you got nothing better to do with your day than to go out there and try to give a hard time to somebody who already knows that he's going through a tough time. Like, you can't go up to Scott Mayfield and say, oh yeah, so you wanted to take all those third period penalties, right? And he's going to be like, yeah, I wanted to do that. No, that's not how it works. Of course he knows that he's messing up. He's just not doing a good job at fixing it. But he doesn't need to be told that by thousands and thousands of people that are on social media and who are all upset at his game. The fans paid their hard-earned money and they have the right to go out there and critique the product, yes, but not on the Instagram page of the guy. You can do it on social media, you can do it on Reddit, you can rant on Twitter, you can do whatever you want, but don't go to the guy's direct page. There's no problems if you're commenting and discussing and criticizing and even hating on a guy. If it's like the New York Islanders post-game thread like we looked at yesterday, that's fine. That's a closed space where the intention is for the fans to say what it is they have to say, but not on the guy's own comment section. And now we lost another one on social media because I could only imagine what it was that Scott Mayfield was getting told to do by Islanders fans. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about this situation with Scott Mayfield and the Isles. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.